Hey guys, what's up? CLI and Jared. We're checking out Sonic CD today, which seems like a good game to take a look at considering the recent Sonic drama with the Sega restructuring, Sonic 3, and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, Sonic 3 is kind of in limbo. Everyone kind of figured it was a given after Christian Whitehead and Simon Tomley are the guys that kind of did the remastered versions of Sonic 1 and 2. And this one, Sonic CD,
Should start a fresh game here.
Oh, yeah, there you go. This Sonic was the original that kind of kicked that off. Like, if you remember years ago, Christian Whitehead just posted kind of a prototype, proof of concept type video of what he could do remastering Sonic CD. And everyone kind of went bananas for it, and then it disappeared. And everyone figured, oh, it's Sega being Sega, told them to kind of cease and desist, all that sort of stuff. We didn't hear anything about it for like 2 years. And then out of nowhere, Sega was like, yeah, we picked this dude up and we're having him do the official remake. And everyone was all excited again. And so they released this. It was a super good remake. Then they did the same thing with Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. And so kind of the only Sonic game left out of those original 4 classic Sonic games was Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, basically the same game. And yeah, everyone kind of figured it was a given that they would do that one too, because all the other ones are so well received. But they never really heard anything from Sega about going forward with it. And then we see all this stuff with the restructuring and Sega downsizing and laying people off and shutting down their San Francisco office, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
So now it's kind of like it's something that everyone figured was coming. It's very up in the air, and in fact, I would say it's leaning more towards not happening at all. But so recently, actually last October, Christian Whitehead and Simon Tomley kind of put together a prototype video similar to the one they did for Sonic CD years ago, on what they would do with the Sonic 3 remaster. They actually started working on it a little bit and got like one level running and stuff like that. And just put a video together to show kind of like, hey, this is what it would be like if we remastered Sonic 3 too. And the video was pretty popular. Everyone's kind of buzzing about it, but still Sega said nothing. And so I think both of them kind of figured, the dream is dead. And they both kind of went on and had been working on their own projects and stuff like that. And then recently, I'm not sure who put this together, but recently someone created kind of this grassroots campaign. They made a website called Sonic3Remastered.com, and they put a online petition together, and it's basically, trying to get Sega's attention and let them know, like, people want this port. Please do whatever it takes to get this thing done, and hire these guys again to do the third one. Because seriously, like, it's one of those things where it's like the rest of the Sonic games, like, I do not care. Like, I want 1, 2, 3 and CD, and I'll be happy forever. Like, there's a few other good Sonic games, but for the most part, like, that was his glory days. And so to have just 3 of those 4 games in this awesome remastered version is kind of a sad prospect. So
right.
if they never ended up doing 3, it would be a sad day for Sonic fans. But so anyway, so we posted just yesterday about the petition and all this stuff, and it seemed to be well received. I noticed that the petition, it was around like 260, 270 signatures, and then after we post about it, I checked this morning, it was over 800.
So that's awesome.
So the interesting wrinkle, and something I'll end up posting about later, is Simon Tomley, one half of the duo that does these remasters. He actually did this big blog post coming out in support of the whole movement of trying to get Sonic 3 done again, or letting Sega having that remaster it. And he had something interesting to say about it. He said, he loved working on the Sonic remasters. He feels like everyone else, like he doesn't want to leave without having 3 get the remaster treatment. And but what he said is that he thinks Sega knows. He knows for a fact there's some sort of legal problem holding this port back. And most of the speculation is in regards to the soundtrack, because if you go back a couple of decades when Sonic 3 was brand new on the Genesis, there was like some debate as to whether Michael Jackson had a part in composing some of the music for the soundtrack. And it turned out that I don't think anybody knows for sure whether he did or did not contribute anything to this. The way it turned out is he wasn't ever actually officially in the credits or anything like that, but supposedly he'd gone in and composed some tracks and stuff like that, and then, I don't know, withdrew at the last minute, his, whatever, and I don't really know the whole details behind it, but a lot of people speculate that that's the thing that's holding this back, is that since Michael Jackson passed away, his estate and handling with anything that has to do with him has kind of become a little bit muddled and tricky. And so Simon Tomley's blog post was basically like, yeah, Sega knows people want this. I think Sega wants this, but the problem is that when Sega hears that people want Sonic 3 re-released, they take that as, we want Sonic 3 exactly as we remember it 20 years ago released, and if it's changed, we're not going to buy it. And I think it's pretty safe to say that even if there was some drama regarding those music tracks and they had to kind of rearrange them or take them out altogether, I don't think anybody would care at all. They just want their game.
Right. I mean, I feel like most people on mobile play with stuff muted anyway, so.
That's true. And so,
I'm doing real bad in this bonus stage. I forgot you were supposed to kill these things.
Oh, yeah. These bonus stages are hard. But anyway, so his message was kind of like, yeah, let Sega know you want it, but also let them know that, hey, it's okay if you have to change a couple things to get around whatever issues are holding it back. And so I thought that was interesting. I didn't really think about that, but if they have to change some things, I'm totally fine with that. I totally trust those guys to do justice to the legacy of that game, and even if they had to make some changes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of an interesting thing, but I'd be really curious to hear any sort of official comment from Sega about this whole thing, what they think about it, and if there's even any interest in doing this. I can't help but think that, I mean, if they release a remastered Sonic 3, it would sell like crazy and make them a lot of money. I feel like it's a good business decision for them to go ahead with that project.
Yeah, I mean, it's always seemed to me that, like, especially with companies like Sega that have so many different layers of people that need to okay things, that there's just like a messy chain of command that prevents cool stuff from happening.
That's true, and I think that's been that way for a long time. But part of their restructuring and closing their office and stuff like that, they said they wanted to focus on mobile and online PC gaming, which I thought was interesting. So, if mobile is a focus, then this should definitely be like a flagship type title for them if they did a Sonic 3 remaster. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I've reached out to some of the parties involved and trying to get some more information, and we'll have another follow-up story on that. But I think the good thing is that this little grassroots campaign is getting a little bit of traction.
Yeah, I mean,
and so
if nothing else, the Sega people are crazy. Like Sega fans on forums and stuff like that are crazy in a good way.
Especially with Sonic. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I really hope it happens someday, even if it takes a long time. But anyway, yeah, this Sonic CD is so good.
Yeah, so if you've been paying attention, you haven't really played Sonic CD before. What makes this game unique compared to other Sonic games is the kind of time travel mechanic here. And what happens is I don't think I'm going to be able to get into the future here. I messed it up. But you swing past one of these signs, like for instance this one here says future, and then you just kind of maintain speed for a while and you'll go into the future. Oh wait, no, I still have it. Oh crap.
Oh, you almost had it. Yeah, it's interesting that it's like they basically created like two versions of every.
There we go.
There's like.
So I'm in the future now, and to get the good ending, you have to go back to. You have to go to the past and like clear out the. I don't remember what the machine was called, like the machine that makes the dirty future, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have to go into the future and do something too, or do you then have to go into the present? And I've never completed the game like how you're supposed to. Like it's just too hard for me.
Yeah, there's like there's 2 or 3 or more different ways to like.
There's a couple different steps you have to do. Like you essentially have to go back into the future or go back into the past to create the good future. on each level, and like if you do that the entire way through the game, I think that's what unlocks the Chaos Emeralds, which allows you to become supersonic. I don't know. The only time I was ever supersonic was in the thanks to Pro Action Replay.
Right. But yeah, if you do it right, you get to unlock supersonic or whatever. Yeah. Which is awesome.
So yeah, I mean, Sonic. This is a absolute classic game, and all the remakes are really good. And it really kind of sucks that we're in this weird state of limbo with Sega right now.
I know.
So I don't know. I just wanted to record some gameplay in case anyone hasn't seen Sonic CD for some crazy reason, and I figure we could talk about the recent drama to give people some insight into what's been going on.
Yeah, hopefully something comes of it. I mean, I always kind of laugh off online petitions because they seem sort of stupid.
Yeah, they do a lot of the time.
Has any of them ever caused any sort of change in anything? Like, I don't know. But I feel like if you want them to remake Sonic 3 or whatever, at the very least you could just sign the online petition like I did. And there's even the Sonic 3 remastered website. They even have it set up where they wrote a letter in Japanese to the CEO of Sega, and you could basically print it out and mail it yourself, basically saying we want this game, please make it. And if you wanted to go full blown, you could even mail the letter and do everything. So I don't know. We'll see what comes from this, but yeah, it would be a real shame if it never saw the light of day.
God, this casino zone or whatever, man. This is so annoying. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, if you don't have this yet, you should. If you like Sonic games and you didn't know about the drama, you should definitely fill out the online petition. Let's look through the other game modes and stuff, just for fun.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things about these remasters is they add in like a time attack and boss rush mode and just all these fun little things that are like, awesome to have in such a classic game,
Yeah, so it's got the time attack here. There's all sorts of achievements, leaderboards if you're into that kind of thing. Options are pretty basic. What's cool is you can switch the soundtrack from the Japanese one to the US one.
Yeah, that was a big deal when this game wasn't as easy to come by. It was like, oh, do you have the Japanese version, which supposedly has the superior soundtrack, and
there's extra unlockables. I think you can actually unlock like the debug menu and stuff like that eventually.
I believe so. Yeah, you can in the other ones for sure.
So yeah, this is Sonic CD. You should totally get it if you don't have it yet. If you have it and you like Sonic, like I said before, sign that petition. So keep an eye out on TouchArcade for more news about Sonic 3, which hopefully we'll have good news soon. Maybe.
We'll see.